All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching, preaching this truth with 100% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayash Debadat, the house of David. We are men of valor, Las Vegas camp. All right, we are the Hebrew Israelites coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Guatemalans, all right? You are the children, Mexicans, you are the children of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ. Salakia, we'll go ahead and slide over so we can get the sign, too. Just going to keep it up. So we're just going to be a little bit spaced out, so we can keep that there. So right here. Yep. And I'm going to make sure I can see it for in the shot. All right, so we're going to go ahead, without further ado, let's go ahead and prove to you that we are the children of Israel. Then we're going to go ahead and get into some prophecies of what's to come, all right, because America is going down, all right? It's not us just saying it. If we get it, thus saith the Bible, all right? Thus saith the Bible, America is falling. Okay, but before we get into all that, let's go ahead and prove that we are the children of Israel.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
All right, so you so-called Negroes, you would belong to the tribe Salakia. You so-called Negroes would belong to the tribe of Judah, which is the head tribe of the southern kingdom, all right, and which is the head tribe of Israel, because who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, came out of the tribe of Israel. You have Slakia, tribe of Judah, for Israel. You have Benjamin. Benjamin is West Indians. Levi is Haitians. Simeon is Dominicans. Zebulon would be Guatemalan to Panamanians. Ephraim would be Puerto Ricans. Manasseh would be Cubans. Gad would be North American Indian. Reuben would be Seminole Indian. Naphtali would be the Argentinian, would be the Colombians to Uruguay, and Issachar would be you Mexicans. All right, that is your biblical nationality. All right, you sons and daughters belong to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Once again, who the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ. All right, and you belong to Him through the law, statutes, and commandments that He had set forth, which the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are the 10 Commandments of Israel. All right. He's not coming to save everybody. He came for a particular people. All right. And you can find that out in the book of Matthew. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull that book of Matthew. No, book of Matthew, chapter 1, and go to 21. And you can also pull that after. Okay. My word is, look that up. All right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai, for he shall save his people from their sins. Now, all of this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted, the power is with us.
All right. It said he should save his people. All right. Matter of fact, go to chapter 2 and go to verse, I believe it's 5 through 7, where it explains what tribe he's from.
This is Matthew, book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 5. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem, in Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor, that shall rule my people Israel.
God. So he said to rule my people Israel. All right, the head tribe of Judah, all right, so-called Negroes, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is a so-called, what the world calls a black man, all right? A so-called black man, but which is an Israelite man, all right? And we've been scattered abroad, and our enemies made us a byword. All right, go ahead and pull it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shall set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So we became a byword. We became so-called Negroes. We became so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, all right? So-called Haitians, all right? These are bywords that are given unto us by the heathens, all right? Because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. The 10 commandments, even though there's 613 commandments, but the 10 commandments that we disobeyed, that most people are familiar with, all right? And you know we had the covenant because, once again, matter of fact, pick up Exodus 19, start at verse 3. And pull the 10 commandments after that, chapter 20. And then we're going to go ahead and move on.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 3. And Moses went up into the Most High, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore,
he said, tell the house of Israel, all right, how I bear you on eagle's wings, all right? So he's already told you that he chose you. Continue.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
A peculiar treasure above all people, all right? Not above some people, not above 2 people, not above 3 people, of all people, all right? Israel is the top nation on the planet, period, point blank. Everything was made for Israel, to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who the world inwardly calls God in Jesus Christ. Continue.
For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
A holy nation. If you look that word up, holy means to be separate. All right? Our women are not supposed to marry these heathen nations. All right? No other nation is like Israel. All right? The Bible only talks about one nation inheriting the kingdom. Salvation is for Israel. Shalom. All right, continue. All right, so.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
God. Oh, that was it? Yeah, go ahead and drop that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the sea, or under the earth.
So we went off with the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. If you read in the account of Deuteronomy, you can look in book of Deuteronomy, which is the curses, how we made a graven image. All right. A calf. All right. So you gotta study and show thyself approved, all right, and get a little bit more knowledge on that. But you'll find out that the reason we're in the conditions that we are in are due to the law, statutes, and commandments, because we disobeyed the commandments from the Most High. Whether it be the Levitical law, eating pork, shrimp, lobster, crab, catfish, all right, dog, cat, frog, rat, snake, disobeying, sodomy. Our people are out of order. And it's all because the law, statutes, and commandments that we disobeyed from the Most High, because we entered a covenant with him. Matter of fact, continue on that. but bring up no.
Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
God. So he's visiting the iniquity. The iniquity. So the iniquity, Slakia. I'm losing the words, lost my train of thought. The sin. All right. So our sin, he's visiting our sin to the third and fourth generation from the things that we did, from not hearkening unto the word.
Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltiness that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works.
So we're supposed to do all the works, law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Salakia.
Verse 9, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou not, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates.
God. So all the laws, statutes, and commandments were set forth only for a particular people. That particular people is Israel. All right. Salvation is not for any other nation. It is not for you so-called white people, Edomites. All right. Not for the so-called Japanese man. Not so for the so-called Chinese, African. All right. It is strictly for the children of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Asians, West Seminole Indians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, and Haitians, and Mexicans. All right, so on and so forth that you see on the chart.
No, I gotta fix it.
God.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
God, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said, only you, Israel, you're the only family of the whole entire earth that I have known, that knows my laws. Matter of fact, get Romans chapter 9, verses 4 and 5. I got this. Con. But for you, only Israel, for only you I have known. Go ahead and pull that on the stiff neck.
All right, this is Exodus chapter 32, verse 9. We'll start at verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, these be thy powers, thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
God. So we disobeyed, turned from the law, statutes, and commandments as soon as we got into them. All right. But we were a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. All right.
All right, this book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises.
God. So that tells you could drop the 5. But that tells you right there. All right. We belong to the Most High. The promise belongs to the children of Israel. The laws, statutes, and commandments, the promise. All right. The promise before to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. And then the new covenant that will belong to Israel. All right. God. That's enough on that. All right. Let's get into the mark of the beast. Let's go pull it. You already got it? Yeah. God. All right. You said you got it. You already there? Yeah, I'm already good. I got it. You got Daniel? Yeah. God.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6. His body was also His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning.
No, Con, lock it. We're getting Mark of the Beast.
Oh, Martyr Beast. Oh my God. I thought we were talking about the image. Salakia.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
God. So a wound by a sword, which did live. Who's that empire? All right. Who's in rulership now? All right. So this mark of the beast comes with the nation behind it. That nation is Esau, Edom, ultimately. All right. We're gonna dive more into it. Keep going.
Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
God, so if you're not going to bow down to this image of the beast, if you're not going to bow down to the image of beast, all right, which is the micro RFID chip, all right, and bow down to Esau's system, that's what he's talking about. Continue on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So what is this mark? All right, you have these Maxines, all right, the micro RFID chip, Neuralink from Elon Musk, all right. This is a mark. He said in your forehead or in your hand, all small and great.
And they all right now we just seeing precursors to what's to come.
God.
So we got the Maxine that's being pushed. You know, you got Lil Uzi putting diamonds in his head.
Huh.
You know, and that's just it's just getting you. It's desensitizing you to see that.
God.
So they're getting ready to push this agenda. All right, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
May buy or sell. All right, no man, whether rich or poor, small or big, free or bond. All right, you're not going to be able to do anything unless you have this mark. All right, unless you adhere to this man's system. Okay? This nation doesn't care about its own nation, and especially don't care about you, Jake. Continue.
Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
God. All right. Got a question, Doc? We don't have a card. You want to give us every Saturday, right? Yeah. Albert Rogers, our Lord willing.
Okay, right there.
God.
Yeah, I'm a cameraman too.
All right. We'll be right here. You want to go ahead and give him the channel? You pull it up. God. Did you have something? Yeah. All right, go. Can you give him the channel?
Yeah. What up? You gonna pull up on him? Yeah, I'll stay over there. I'll stay on top of Decatur.
All right.
Top of Decatur.
Salakia. So we continue on the market, please. Previous sword. I got him distracted.
I got a cash. Oh, hold on one second. Hold on. What's your number? You can just search my phone.
Salaki Akim. All right.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 16, verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh up upon the earth, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had a mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
Con, so a grievous sword. All right. And if you do your research, these are the brain chip, all right, and the RFID chip has been linked to cancer. All right. So not only cancer in your head, cancer in your brain. All right. And what's the central command of your whole body? Your heart, your love, your mind, your brain. All right.
Quick precept. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
Con, and what is that? What is getting an implant? It's an incision. It's a cut in your flesh. All right, and if you Elon Musk actually drilling into your skull.
That's that. What's that movie? The Upgrade. Upgrade movie where he gets that implant or that chip he gets put inside of him. Gives him the ability to walk again and do things he ain't never did before. Those are the miracles that it's talking about.
Con. And then you got before that, because Esau deals with gradualism. All right, you got Universal Soldier, the $1 Million Man, the Bionic Man. All right, this thing has been happening for a long time. All right, and they've been desensitizing all these sheeple. All right, for a long, long time to make you think it's cool. All right, you're seeing commercials with people talking on their hands and stuff. I don't even need my phone. That's why they gave you a smartwatch, so you can start leaving the phone at home. You leave your phone at home, guess what? You talk on your watch. After you go from your watch, I forgot my watch. I don't feel like wearing it. Well, let me go ahead and implant it in my hand. All right, gradualism.
They already got the RFID chip out in
Sweden
and
China.
And China.
On YouTube years ago, I seen a company that that's like their badge. They put that's how they get into their building. They put a little chip inside their hand.
They're employers.
Yep.
They're employers. Yeah, and certain employers are requesting that you have it now. All right, if you want to work for X, Z, and Y company, you got to take this mark. Why? It's for security. It's for your security and for security of the company. And it's security, but they can let your ass go at any time. All right.
And this is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Once again, if you don't accept that mark, if you don't have that mark, you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade. All right, and your jobs pretty soon. If you don't accept that vaccine, well, once again, this is gradualism. So what are they going to tell you? Oh, we have to let you go because they don't want to pay a higher insurance for you. All right, you're a slave who's not worth it because you're not obedient. All right, Slack it. Yeah. Previous one. God. But going from previous sword. Matter of fact, I don't know the script. It's in my head. I had Ezekiel 5. Go ahead, pull it.
This is the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, verse 15. No, I'll start at verse 14. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee in the sight of all that pass by. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt and an instruction and astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger, and in fury, and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken it. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. And I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, have spoken it.
God. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he'll bring evils upon you. All right, for disobeying the law, statutes, and commandment, for accepting that mark of the beast. All right, and as well, especially Esau, Edom, which doesn't exclude those you were confederate with. Matter of fact, go to Psalms. Go to Psalms. Go to Psalms 2, and then go to Psalms 83, and hold that. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Hold that.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
God. So if you accept this mark of the beast, whether look, you 2/3 of our own nation, all right, you wicked Israelites, all right, you're gonna drink of that cup along with the heathen, all right, because you accepted the mark of the beast, you accepted the image, you bowed down.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
God. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he should have you in derision. He shall laugh. All right? Salakia. Because you put his children, Israel, into bondage, into slavery. All right? It's those things that you did. All you heathen. All right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
God. So who cut us off from being a nation? All right? Who cut us off? Who made us a byword? All right? Who made us the byword? Who's in the neighborhoods? All right? Who's in the hood selling dope? All right? Wicked 2/3. Who's in the hood owning the liquor store? Who's owning all the fast food restaurants? All right? Selling all these abominable foods, low vibration foods. All right? It is all these heathens, because Jake don't own shit. Continue.
Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab and Hagrims, Jebel and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah.
Khan. So it's all these heathen tribes, all you so-called Chinese, all right, all you so-called Hamites, all right, you so-called Africans, all right. So all you Japanese, no, the chart. All you Japanese Ishmaelites. So what is it? Arabian, Arabic. All right. And the brother's actually going to pull and get the chart for the heathen nations. As we have a tribe chart for the 12 tribes of Israel, the heathen nations have their own chart to go back to their biblical nationality. Go ahead and read it out.
All right. The so-called white man is Edom. India, Eastern India, that's Elam. Assyria, Asher. Syria, Aram. Arabs, Ishmael. Chinese, Moab. Japanese, Ammon. Ethiopians, Cush. Egyptians, Mizraim. North Africa, Phut. South Africans, Canaan. Turkey, Gomer. Russian, Magog. Greek, Javan. German, Ashkenaz. Spanish, Tarshish. Cyprus, Kittim.
Gone. So these are all the heathen nations. All right. These nations are around about Slakia that were confederate and are confederate with Esau Edom, which is the chief, all right, who runs the world. But as you see, things are getting stirred up now, and nobody wants to play by his rules anymore. Nobody wants to play by his rules anymore. You have something? Go to Joel 3 and 10.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
How's scripture? I was looking for last week. God, he oppresseth the poor. All right, who's the poor? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Mexicans, West Seminole Indians. All right, you are the poor. It's you who has very little. All right. Yeah, some Jakes might own houses, might have a business. All right, some, but you still got to go to Esau Edom if you got to get that business license. You got to pay. You got to pay those property taxes. Right. You still got to go through his banking system. You got to get that loan.
And if you get up early in the morning to go work for somebody else, you're oppressed.
God.
I got it. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 115, verse 1. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their power? But our power is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither spake they through their throat.
God. So, hey, who you have as your power is a false idol. All right? Yeah, something. No. But you have a false idol. All right? And your false idol was set up to deceive you by the Most High on the left-hand side. Matter of fact, go ahead and go to Ecclesiastes, go to 8 and 11. Drop it. Con. All right. But so the wicked, all right, and Jake is always wondering, all right, is always wondering why. Why are we in the situation that we are in? Due to the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. And the wicked, all right, the wicked, these other nations, chiefly Esau, Edom. All right. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull. Oh, you got it.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies.
That's beautiful.
Verse 7, ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto the devils and not to Yahweh.
God. So we sacrifice unto the devil, but not to Yahweh. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull what I told you to grab. Ecclesiastes.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Con. All right, because we didn't get our judgment right away. All right, we're in our judgment now. We're set. Base men are set up over us, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. All right, we have the base man, Esau, Edom, and all these other heathens set up over us. Why? Because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why that mark. All right. That mark is there for what? Because of that disobedience. You have something?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, excuse me, verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord. The sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh the son of Hezekiah king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward, therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting.
Because once, first and foremost, these heathen nations don't give a damn about you, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Western Middle Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, all right, Mexicans, Paraguay, Uruguay, you know, Cubans, North American Indians, all right? He don't care about you. Those other nations don't give an inkling of care of you. You belong to the Most High, all right? The world was, roughly paraphrasing scripture, made for our sake. Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
So hold that. How about Shemi Al-Shai said he will punish the world, all right, for their evil and their iniquity. Punish. What is it? What is a punishment? If you were punished by your parents, what happens? All right? You get an ass whooping. You get an ass whooping. All right? How about Shemi Al-Shai? All right? Is the parent of all. All right? But in particularly the power of Israel. All right? So not only is he going to whoop his children first and foremost, because the world was made by him. All things by him. The world is his. Matter of fact, go back into Exodus 19 and I believe it's 6 and read that right quick. Hold that.
They might take away some of your toys. And that's Yahweh taking our riches. Yahweh Bashim El Shai taking away our riches.
I believe it's 6.
We on timeout right now.
It's 6. Read down. It says all the earth is mine, so 7. Okay, so all the earth is mine. Yeah, so 6. John, so read 5 and 6. Lock it.
This is Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Lock it. All the earth. All the earth. That means the earth itself and everything in it and out of it. But he specifically said right now, all the earth is mine. Are you not in the earth? Are these heathens not in the earth? Come on. Finish that and then you can pick up.
This is verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
A kingdom of priests and a holy nation speak to the children of Israel. All right? Come on.
Now, so when this is the book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with the strength by themselves and made them according to image.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he made everybody out of dust, and dust that we shall return to. All right? Is not dust in the earth? Go ahead.
All right, this is going back to Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
God. So the haughtiness of the terrible. All right? Cause the pride to cease. Well, who's the most prideful person, prideful nation on this planet? All right? In wickedness. In wickedness. Who is the most prideful nation on this planet? I don't know. You take a guess. Maybe start with an E.
Yeah, pale skin.
It's not pale, it's red.
They turn all different colors.
You got stuff. Because we're going.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 4. For thou art, did you want to go into detail first?
No, go ahead.
For thou art not a power that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
A worker of iniquity. Who is that?
So the foolish not going to stand in the sight of the Most High, So that's saying that, where are all these high elites at? Who's ruling this world? They in the background. All the Rockefellers and DuPonts. You can't even touch them.
God.
Because they not putting their face out there like that. They got other,
They got minions.
They got minions who look like they powerful to do out they wills.
And the president is their main puppet.
God. Verse 6, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
Yeah. Bloody and deceitful man. Who cherishes blood? Who likes their steaks? Who likes their steaks rare? Who cherishes blood and does all these abominable acts with his blood? And who wants to be vampires and all this other shit?
And warlocks.
And warlocks and all this other shit. And werewolves and shit. All right? This is E.
All right. I got this, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 10. This evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart, and walk after other gods, to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as the girdle, which is good for nothing.
That's a beautiful precept. Read that again.
This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 10. This evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart, and walk after other powers, to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as the girdle, which is good for nothing.
Especially those 2/3. All right? Shall be good for nothing. Esau, Edom, the 2/3. All right? All right? But you, Israel, all right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has you. All right? He loved you. Not you 2/3. You know, but ultimately you'll be back.
Because you looking at right now, you looking at Biden like he gonna save you. You know? And if you can't tell by now, he full of wickedness. Look into his eyes. I seen a video that a few weeks back. It looked like he was just like he was possessed, man. He had no soul in him at all.
Because, I mean, he goes straight from the womb. Matter of fact. It's lucky. But how about Shimi Al-Shai? Man, he's definitely got something. He got something for the 2/3. He got something for these other nations, these other heathen nations. All right? Yeah.
All right, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 4. And it reads, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. Wherein you greatly rejoice, thou now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through the manifold temptations.
Slakia. I salute him with the left hand. Slakia. This caught me off guard. God.
Verse 6, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than the gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Mashiach, whom having not seen ye love, and whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which the salvation of the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you.
God, because Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai is keeping his elect. All right, first and foremost, the 144,000 elect men, but the 1/3. All right, he chose his people, Israel. All right, and all of Israel will be back. All right, but first and foremost, it is that 1/3. The 1/3 will see salvation. All right, the 1/3 will see the return of Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai. They will be the first go around. All right. Matter of fact, cool. Isaiah 40 and 31. Hold that right quick. Got it. Hebrews 11:6.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to the power must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
God. So you have to seek Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Faith is things that not seen or heard before.
11 and 9. Okay, this is verse 9.
Why did you get that one before you got that one?
Yeah. Okay. By faith he sojourned in a land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac, and Jacob the heirs with him of the same promise.
Salakiaki. Faith is unseen.
All things hope. 11 and 1.
11 and 1. We went to 11 and 9.
Oh,
That's why I was like, no, it's not right. It's 11 now.
1 and 9.
11.
11 and 1. Sorry.
Right.
Slagia. Right now.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of all things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
God. So none of us in this lifetime, all right, that you could remember have seen Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Couldn't even behold that type of majesty in these feeble bodies. All right? Now read the one you had. Oh, you already
Yes.
But that name is still in our spirit,
God.
you know.
That's why it resonates.
God.
All right? Roughly paraphrasing scripture, run unto a strong tower. All right? It's that name, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai being the Son. All right?
40 and 30.
God.
But they that way.
God.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
God. So come on, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Those that wait shall renew their strength. Okay? We shall renew our strength. Of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, waiting in patience.
All right. I got this, the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 1. I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised, so shall I be as saved from mine enemies.
God. Be saved from our enemies. All right? By Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? And he's the only one that could save us. Not Martin Luther King, not Malcolm X, you know, not Joe Smiden, you know, none of these, not Tupac, all right, not Nas, not 50, nobody,
Not Malcolm X.
not all your false prophets and your false idols, not T.D. Jakes, definitely not Joel Osteen. Yeah, man, let's get off of that. Good God. Go to Ezekiel 38, and you can find that. But go to Ezekiel. Oh, you already got it?
Yeah. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets.
And those are the false prophets and false Mashiach. False. This is false. This image right here, Caesar Borgia, right here, blonde hair, blue eyes. All right, that's false. Shiva, Krishnan, fucking Buddha. All right, you're what is the black Jesus with a perm? All right, it's false. All right, it's all false.
And shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Hey, what are those signs and wonders? All this technology, you know, all this technology.
So people looking at Elon Musk like, you know, like he got some type of godly powers, you know,
Con, with these and
everything that he's doing.
Con, and these prosthetic limbs that they're doing, growing organs. You know, even they look at this the breeding. All right, these the liger as a miracle. You know, crossbreeding and everything like that. That's an abomination.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord power. Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy claws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Con, so Yahweh Shem Yahushua is against all these other nations, all right? And the nation's going to bring up what he's going to do to all these other nations, including these 2/3, all right, of our own nation, all these heathens, all right? He's going to destroy them all. Destroy them all. Matter of fact, read verses 4 through 5 again. No, 4 through 6. Lock it.
This is verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy claws. And I will bring thee forth in all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
All sorts of armor. Lock it. All sorts of armor. So these are super soldiers. All right? Bucklers and shields. All right? And what is it? Chapter or verse is talking about Gog. So it's talking about Russians. All right. And what does Russia have? Satan 1, Satan 2 missile. All right. All these missiles, all this technology, these super soldiers that China's freaking trying to breed and implanting. Continue.
And you got, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma, and the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Time. So all these other heathen nations. God.
Verse 7, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
God. And who's that guard? Who's guarding everybody right now? Russia and China. All right. You see that in the news. This is Bible prophecy unfolding right before your eyes. All right. I got verse 8. God.
This is verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
God. So all you other nations, all you nations are going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not excluding you 2/3. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull it up.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 8. Or no, chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried.
Con, and who's that 1/3? Once again, that 1/3 is the elect, the saints, the chosen of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who the world English calls God and Jesus Christ. But hold on, 2/3, you got something.
They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we shall call on his name as we're doing now. All right? But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has wrath. All right? He's going to do away with this land, this spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, this house of bondage. Okay? Go ahead, pull that.
This is the book of Micah.
Jeremiah.
This book of Micah, chapter 1, verse 2. Hear, O ye people, hearken, O earth, and all that is therein. And let the Lord thy power be witness against you, the Lord from his holy temple. For behold, the Lord cometh forth out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high places of the earth.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai. All right? To the earth. And he's going to send him in style. All right? He's going to send him in a fathership, a chariot. Yes, what the world calls a UFO. Yes. Yahweh is sending Yahweh Shai in a UFO, known as the chariots of the Most High. Continue, Slaki. I know it's hard to believe.
Verse 3, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high place of the earth. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valleys shall be cleft, as wax before the fire. And the waters that are poured down a steep place. For the transgression of Jacob is all this, and for the sins of the house of Israel, what is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria? And what are the high places of Judah? Are they not Jerusalem?
God. So is this not? Did we not disobey the law, statutes, and commandments? And now we have to answer for it? Okay.
Therefore I will make Samaria as an heap of the field, and as plantings of a vineyard. And I will pour down the stones thereof into the valley, and I will discover the foundations thereof.
God. Discover the foundations thereof. Go ahead and pull that out. You can drop that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 2. And it reads, declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces.
Con. And their images are being broken in pieces. All right? This blonde hair and blue eyes. All right? These heathens is looking every day worse and worse. Waxing worse and worse. All right? But you so-called Negroes, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the Argentinians to Chile, Colombians to Uruguay, and Mexicans. All right? You belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You sons and daughters. You are the Most High's people, who the world calls God in Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Continue.
Verse 3, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall depart both man and beast.
That's self-explanatory.
Verse 4, in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their power.
God, and that's what we're doing right now. We're seeking Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We're calling and crying out unto our power, the Most High, the God of Israel, and Israel alone. Continue.
Verse 5, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
God, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai made a covenant with who? Our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then he will set a new covenant with Israel when he returns.
Verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Now that's those false prophets. All right? That's those false prophets in these heathen nations. All right? These prophets and 2/3 of our own nation who sold us out to the enemy. You have something else on that? Did you want to pull out of it? But it's hey, it's Judas Iscariot. That same spirit. All right? That sold Yahushai out. You wicked scribes and Pharisees. All right? You Jesse Jacksons, Al Sharptons. You know? Shit, Don King. You know? You Jay-Z's. All right? You Rick Rosses. Selling your own people out.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to the heart.
God.
And that's going for you other Israelites group that's not pushing the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
The true 100% doctrine. All right? The 144%. From the Apostle Tahar, Apostle Ramla, the elders on down. Gabar. All right? This is the true doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Yeah, something.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand, her foundations are falling, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
God. So the walls are falling. All right. Slovakia. This place, this America, all right, is falling. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, all right, you belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, not Jesus Christ. All right, his name is not Jesus. There was no J in the alphabet. The Bible original text was written in Hebrew. Look it up for yourself.
Verse 15, shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are falling, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her.
God, take vengeance. Take vengeance. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to take vengeance of this wicked ass place and all these damn heathens. God. Slocky. They're throwing me off. It's all right. Peter 3. Slocky, Akim.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Go ahead and break that down.
Coming as a thief in the night, you won't expect it. You won't see it coming. And as for that fervent heat, that's those missiles, the ICBMs, that are going to melt this place. There's going to be missiles when that time comes after the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Those missiles are going to hit everywhere, especially here, America. They're going to be burnt to ashes.
Fuck you. Read it again, Slocky.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Slocky. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said he will come as a thief in the night. All right? He will come as a thief in the night. Continue.
In which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
All right, shall melt with fervent heat. All right, because this place, America, all right, America is going up in thermonuclear fire.
The earth also
the ICBM missiles. All right, it is going to melt.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
The works, hey, the works. That means all these buildings and shit you see, the elements itself. All right, air itself is gonna burn. Oxygen itself, sand is gonna melt in fervent heat. Right?
Quick preset. Book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 14. For there are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Huh.
And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Armageddon. All right. The place.
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
So that's the place of judgment. All right. Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to be there to plead with all flesh. All right. And I don't mean plead like beg. All right. He's there to judge. All right. Because Yahweh Shemi Shai, roughly paraphrasing, is a man of war. All right. He's a man of war. And in today's terms, what Jake said, he's about that action. He's about that action, and you gonna get some. You 2/3, all right, and you other heathen ass nations.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Wait a minute. Again, Salakia. He said he will plead there for who?
Israel.
Start back from the top. I'm not sure we heard it right.
I will also gather all
No,
nations.
start back from the top.
Oh.
All the way to the top. Salakia.
Okay. Chapter 3.
Another verse.
All right, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days, and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land.
He didn't say he was coming for anybody else. Therefore, salvation can't belong to anybody else. It belongs to Israel. Still belongs, all right, to those 12 tribes. It still belongs to these bywords, these Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indian, Seminole Indian, the Argentinians to Chile, Colombians to Uruguay, and Mexicans. That's who salvation is for. Nobody else. None. You do not pass go, do not collect salvation. All right? But there is something for it. Judgment and other things. You got something?
Yeah. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 4. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest.
Yahweh Shemi Shai's judgments are made manifest. All right? For you saying, I would say that his judgments are unholy, you a damn lie. You a lie. You lie like a fake fur skin coat, thinking that it's real. Rabbit.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Well, wait a minute. I thought the day of Yahweh Shemi Shai was going to be beautiful. I thought it was going to come back with sunshines and rainbows, and everybody was going to be holding hands. Okay? Matter of fact, read that again. One more time. Salakia.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll.
Heaven departed as a scroll. Salakia. Because what does a scroll do? It rolls up. All right? When you see that mushroom cloud, what does it do? Fall upon itself and roll up, like rolling up a sleeve. Continue.
When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Everything was moved out of its place. What's moving? Mountains and everything. out of its own place. What? I don't know. Maybe thermonuclear fire? Maybe the atom bomb, nuclear fire? All right? Got something? Oh, no, break it out again. I don't believe we did.
All right, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing. All right? Nothing but the elect. Nothing but the 144,000 governing body in the 1/3.
Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so they shall run. So shall they run like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness.
God. So everybody who's left behind, especially in Egypt, aka Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, is gonna perish. Plain and simple. There's not gonna be anything left. But all these other nations around the world, so on and so forth, in other places where they'll have a couple of missiles, but still there'll be some left.
Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
So what should not break those ranks? Well, if you have a tracking system, all right, you have a tracking system on a missile, and not just any missile, an ICBM missile, it's not going to break its ranks. It's going to go exactly where it's meant to go. It's going to hit its target every time. All right? If you fucking wicked ass 2/3 niggas believe that Kobe Bryant can hit and LeBron James can hit every fucking shot, well, how much more? Yeah, how about Shimmy Awashai?
Verse 8,
Salakia.
neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Read that last.
Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Plain as day. Yeah, how about Shimmy Awashai is going to make sure those missiles, all right, ICBM missiles, are going to hit its target. All right? As a matter of fact, if this is just me speaking as a man, but hey, that mark of the beast, that RFID chip, it might help. It might send that 5G out, all right? To make sure extra that it's not going anywhere.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
God. So simultaneously, when the missiles are being shot off, all right, we're already going through these this Jacob's trouble, this famine, this pestilence, this crown 19 right now, and you got other ones coming. All right, you got this famine, all right, this coming, this already here. You got flesh-eating bacteria. You got all these pestilence, locusts, and everything. All right, you got Amos.
This is Amos 5 and 18. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
So Yahweh Shemi Shai said, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. All right? And it's not talking about the men of Yahweh Shemi Shai, because we cry out to him every day. We hasten the day. All right? But woe unto you. You think it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. You thinking, what is it called?
The rapture.
The rapture's coming. Water. All right?
Thinking that so-called Jesus Christ going to come back with rainbows and flowers.
Yeah. You think he's here to save everybody. All right? You thinking your neighbor, your friend, all your sisters and your brothers, and everybody's going to go. It's not so. All right, continue.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness, and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
So Yahweh Shemi Shai said, this very day shall be darkness and not light. All right? It should be a dark day, a gloomy day, an evil day. All right? Yahweh Shemi Shai is coming to purge this place. You've seen the purge? I'm sure of it. Shit, some of you are living it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 6. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be?
God. So we know not the day or time. You know that Yahweh Shemi Shai is ordained. Only Yahweh knows. All right? Not even Yahweh Shai.
Verse 8, there is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it.
God. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So, once again, you Birdmans, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne's, Jay-Z's, you know, I don't even know what 6ix9ine is. I don't know if he's part of the nation. I don't even know. He's what? Oh, God. Yeah. All Cardi B's. All right. None of y'all. All right. Because you wickedness. Go ahead and pull that.
This book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
God, so Yahweh Shemi Shai bends that bow. What's that bow? All right? That ICBM missile. This is going to come and hit and going to come and destroy this land called so-called America, which is spiritually Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, Rome, all the abominations.
Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth.
God, it's going to consume the foundation of the earth. Yahweh Shemi Shai is coming to purge this fucking world. Not only this land in particular, first and foremost, that will never be inhabited again, roughly paraphrasing scripture, but this whole world.
There's the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
Hey, so all these other nations walk by, hiss and wag their tails at the children of Israel. All right? Hiss and wag. All right? Because we're in our low state right now. Saying we know nothing. All right? But all you heathens will soon understand. Why? Because the curses shall return upon you and your nation. Your women will be destroyed. Your houses will be destroyed. Your children will be destroyed.
Verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled the word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pity. And he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversary.
God, because we disobeyed our laws, statutes, and commandments from our power, who the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ, he's whipping our ass, as a father does to his child. All right, a righteous father, disciplining his children.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
God, and what are you seeing right now? Peace and safety. What are they starting to cry out? What is Joe Biden saying? Peace and safety. Oh, we're going to enter back into the to this deal. All right, to the nuclear deal with Iran. But we're going to control it, and we're going to make some changes. And Iran said, like hell you are. If you go enter the deal, enter the deal. But you're not changing nothing. But yet they're still moving forward with their program. Making their, enriching their uranium. All right, so why? ICBM missiles. For the day of vengeance of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right?
Said 20, 30.
Salaki Akif. Salaki is 37. Oh, it's just right there.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to return all these curses upon all these other heathen nations. All right, being the lowest of the low. All right, not having coming from a broken home. All right, not having your parents together, not having enough substance. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to bring all these curses unto you. Your women being harlots in the street. All right, these are curses that are going to come unto you. When your women of your nation look at you and see nothing, barely see a man. All right, barely see a man. They where you're not allowed to run your house. All right, and take your children. These are curses where your life will hang in doubt. Well, you'll wonder day to day. Is today the day?
So your children will be your oppressors.
Khan.
Yeah. I'm losing the script on it. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18. Let's start at 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double.
God, fill to her double. So what what these heathen give us? What did all these heathen nations, each heathen nation, what did they each gave something to the children of Israel? What did they give you? All right. What did Esau, Edom give you? Death, doubt, disease. We sold. They say we sold our own people into slavery. True. Some Israelites sold Israelites into slavery. True. But Ham sold us into slavery too. All right. We went into slavery through them. Other nations. Each nation had a part. That's why every other nation will be judged. Those who lead captivity shall go into captivity. And look. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to repay you.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Sorry, read it one more time.
This is Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Khan, those who lead into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword.
He who killeth with the sword must be killed by the sword.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
The patience and the faith of the saints. Because guess why? The Old Testament is not done away with. The Old Testament and the New Testament are one book. All right? Those laws, statutes, and commandments change not. Roughly paraphrasing scripture, Yahweh Shem Yahushai changes not.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
God. So if you were a stumbling block to Israel, all right, and you cursed us, all right, you cursed us, guess what's going to happen? you will be cursed. But if you were a blessing, you will be blessed. But none of you heathens right now are blessings.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one yoke or one title shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
All right. So Yahweh Shimei Shai. Matter of fact, read the first two verses again. Yahweh Shimei Shai has promises for us, has glory for us. Go ahead and read the first two.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, I or one title shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Shall all be fulfilled. All right. So everything in this book, this heritage book, has not been fulfilled yet. Not one drop, not one tittle. You have something else? Oh. Pull up. Jeremiah 6 and 10. Start at 9. 9 and go to 11.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 9. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer into the baskets. To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Therefore I am full of the fury of the Lord. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the age with him that is full of days.
God. It's like I should have asked you to stop that too. It's like. But Yahweh Shimei Shai is giving us and returning us back to our heritage. All right? By the law, statutes, and commandments, trying to hearken unto his word. All right? And once again, Yahweh Shimei Shai said, curse those that curse thee, bless those that bless thee. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. All right?
This book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. For this saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me into the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
So Yahweh Shimei Shai said, we're the apple of his eye. All right? First and foremost, the 1/3. First, before that, the 144,000 elect men. All right? And then the rest of the 1/3. We are the Abaratazah, we be of that number, but we are the apple of Yahweh Shimei Shai's eye. All right? Israel is the apple of Yahweh Shimei Shai's eye. You got something? Yeah, verse.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even to day do I declare that I will render double unto thee.
God, who's the prisoners of hope? Are we not hoping, praying, all right, hastening the day of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Yes, sir. Then pick up.
This is the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 6. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts.
God. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will give us glory. All right. Matter of fact, 31 and 31. Start there, and then we're gonna close out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
God, and a new covenant. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will do for the house of Judah. All right, with Israel. All right, continue.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Okay, not according to the covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, but he said a new covenant. Continue.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord.
God. So even though Yahweh Bashim Yahushai treated us good, we still turned from him. But yet Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Yahweh still chose us. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai chose us. All right? Continue.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will put the law, statutes, and commandments, all right, in our inward parts, in our hearts. Continue.
And write it in their hearts.
Our hearts, continue.
And will be their power, and they shall be my people, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord.
God, and if you look up that word, heart, in the blue letter, all right, that word heart means your mind. All right, because you got those worldly sayings, wherever your whatever your mind is, your heart will follow.
Yes.
All right, so wherever your mind is, your heart will follow. Well, it's self-explanatory. Not the physical organ, which is called your heart, all right, but your real heart is your mind.
Right? That's last part. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said he will forget our iniquity and remember our sin no more. All right? Salvation is only for you, so-called, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, the Panamanians, Cubans, Mexicans, all right? Colombians to Uruguay. You belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, we got one more script and then we're going to go ahead and close it out. All right, unless you got one.
Jeremiah 31:1.
God.
This is Jeremiah 31:1. At the same time, saith the Lord, will I be the power of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people? Thus saith the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went out to cause him to rest.
God. So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to give us rest. All right. But there's something that you have to do first, Israel. You 1/3. All right. If you are of that number, Abaratazal, we be men of that number, of the 144,000. But there's something that you have to do. All right. Go ahead and bring it out. Huh?
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, verse 6. Therefore, say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, repent, turn yourselves from your idols, and turn away your faces from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Israel, or of the stranger that sojourneth in Israel, which separateth himself from me, and setteth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquities before his face, and cometh to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I, the Lord, will answer him by myself.
God. So you got to turn away from your idols. Turn away from your Jesus Christ. Turn away from your Buddha. Turn away from your Kobe Bryants. Turn away from your Michael Jacksons, LeBron James. All right, all these fucking abominations. All right, all these men and women of this world, and repent and come back to your power. All right, the power of Israel. Right? Everybody's got anything else? Got anything else? All right. With that, Lord willing, was edifying camp. We want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bayashadebadat, the house of David. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp. To the next time, Shalom.
Shalom.